federal government. Federal workers were told to list their accomplishments or face termination. But some unions and agencies, including the new FBI director, Kash Patel, have told workers to pause on the order. And late word tonight that the Trump administration is firing 2,000 USAID workers and placing thousands of others on leave. Here's ABC's senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang.
Tonight, President Trump's cabinet defying Elon Musk's order to federal workers, telling their agency employees to hold off on responding to an email from the Office of Personnel Management asking for 5 bullet points detailing their previous week's accomplishments. The pushback coming after Musk posted an ultimatum on social media demanding federal workers justify their jobs before midnight Monday or face termination. Musk writing on X, failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. But several agencies telling workers to wait. Newly installed FBI Director Kash Patel ordering his workforce to pause any responses. Senior leaders at the State Department saying no employee is obligated to report their activities outside of their department chain of command. And tonight, the Department of Defense telling employees that the department will respond on their behalf when and if required. Acting U.S. Attorney in D.C. Ed Martin was one of the few senior officials to encourage his employees to comply, calling it a good opportunity to highlight the importance of our work. The largest federal workers union calling the email unlawful and an attempt to bully hardworking Americans. Sources tell ABC that even though Trump publicly urged Musk to get more aggressive on Saturday, top White House officials were caught off guard, the White House refusing to comment publicly. Even some Republican lawmakers questioning Musk's tactics.
If I could say one thing to Elon Musk, it's like, please put a dose of compassion in this. These are real people. These are real lives.
And Lindsay, more breaking news tonight. USAID says it's firing 2,000 workers and putting all but a few remaining staffers on leave around the world. This comes after President Trump and Elon Musk have vowed to dismantle the agency that provides humanitarian aid around the world. They claim it's wasteful. Lindsay?
Selena Wang from the White House. Thanks so much.
Opinions?
Yeah, I feel like
fire all the Trump supporters, keep the Kamala Harris supporters in an exodus.
I feel like this is like a breach of security, man, because these jobs, you really don't want to be putting what you do in emails and stuff like that, bro. Like, this is the Department of Defense. This is not no regular job. Like, I think it's a breach of information. I mean, what he's doing is Trump is draining the swamp. It's like 85 been saying for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he did
trying to get rid of people.
Personal,
he's
though,
cutting the fat. He's cutting the fat off the chicken, bro. That's what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? But the way he's trying to do it, it just feels like now you're breaching security and all this. Like, this is the government jobs, not Burger King and McDonald's jobs.
Word.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what I would say is that if y'all have been watching any mainstream media, you seeing Jesse Waters on the Fox News with the 5 saying his friend got fired. Another Republican strategist saying his friend got fired. So there are people that voted for Trump, and I'm seeing that I showed on last Monday that are upset that they voted for Trump and now they lost their job. So I think there's going to be a major backlash against Trump because, I mean, your job is probably one of the most important things in your life.
85?
85?
I know, man. You know, I'm never gonna show sympathy because they never gonna show sympathy. Let me explain. There was a certain type of energy during the pandemic. It was a certain thing that you had to be required to get, even if you didn't believe you needed it at the time. And these people were in high positions, and they had to take this scenario where if they didn't, they would get fired. A lot of people lost their jobs at this time. I don't see the same energy. I'm just saying, I know a lot of friends of mine who lost their job during that time because they didn't take a certain Ouchie Fauci. Where's that energy? I don't have sympathy. I'm sorry, but this is what it is. We have a new government. We lost $4 trillion plus. And yo, these are the stipulations. You're in these positions. This is why you're getting audited. Step to the plate or you're part of the problem. Sorry. Welcome to America, baby. This is how we moving.
But like, do you agree with how he's doing it, asking him to send emails of what they did for last week?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's a breach of security.
No, he said don't include personal information though.
Who was that last guy that just was talking?
No, I'm not talking about personal information.
Nah,
I'm not talking about personal information, bro. See, Vulgar, man, you got me messed up when I be talking, bro. I'm not talking about personal information, bro. I'm talking about some of them jobs. You got to have a security clearance to even have that job, bro. Some of that stuff you can't even talk about, bro. What are you talking about?
I mean,
I was in the military. I was in the military for 15 years, bro. Come on, dog. Don't try to play me, bro.
When it come to $4 trillion plus tax dollars, we got to talk about it.
Well,
that's just what it is. If you're a tax-paying citizen, you are worried about all of those jobs in place of your bread every year. Doesn't matter what side you on, Trump or the blue side. You know, it doesn't matter. If you're a tax-paying citizen and you're just now finding out $4 trillion is missing, but every year we're in debt. Every year we're basically forced to pay more gas prices. Every year we're forced to pay more inflation on whatever, food, eggs, products, every year, but we're in debt. But now we are missing $4 trillion plus.
So Slim, you have your job, right? So let's just say Trump and Elon say, hey, you know what? Y'all done took too many taxes. Y'all done did too much. You know what? You're fired. We don't want you around. You fine with that?
I started a business, so I wouldn't think, by the grace of God, I wouldn't have to worry about that. And I got involved with a scenario that people have to do. So for instance, right, if you put yourself in the middle of, let's say, T-Mobile, Verizon, and let's just say every time somebody pays a bill, you get paid. The question would be, do you think the telephone network's going to go down? I'm involved with energy. As when people stop paying their electric bills is when we going to lose. So whenever that day comes, I talk to you about it. You see what I'm saying?
That day ain't never going to come. That day ain't never going to come.
So that's why I tell people there's so many things that you can get involved in that'll put you guys over the limit. And a lot of people want to rely, like Vogel was saying last week, you can't rely on the government. No matter, even if it's a job, you can get fired. Even, you know, there's people with the car situation that happened in Detroit, and the whole industry went down. That whole city went bad for years. More recently, there was a guy in California that blew his head off because he was worried about his job that he lost in the car industry. He was working there for 30 years and unalived the entire family. This was a few years ago. Bro, we can't be on that level. Like, we really can't, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people all the time, like, we live in the greatest country on planet Earth. Just like Jesse Lee says, on this side of heaven. And there's so many opportunities that we could take advantage of, and people pass those opportunities on the regular. It just happens. And it's unfortunate, but it's because we're programmed and we're watching these things and we're believing what the government is going to do for us, and we're believing this guy and we're believing that guy. No, man, like, I know each and every one of us on this panel had opportunities that came to us and we turned them down because we thought it was something crazy. And now we can look back and be like, damn, we should have did it. Each and every one of us has a story like that.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, like, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Just start looking at other avenues and stop relying on taxes, the government, whatever. You know, there's so many opportunities, bro. And even this, you know, this could blow up and put you on a whole another level one day, Greg. And all it takes is the right guy to see it and be like, yo, you know, I seen something in the background. I seen a person get a check just for having Sprite in their video. Sprite contacted them and said, if you do another video, you know, we'll send you a check. I'm like, word. And that's when I knew. I said, there's no excuse.
Yep.
There's no excuse.
people, you should have a contingency plan
on your own.
Yeah, on your own. Yep. Like I said, it happened to me. My skill is a mechanic. When pandemic hit and my job with the Falcons went south, I had already started. I was doing brakes on the side. People with Porsche started hitting me up because they were getting laid off and they couldn't go to Porsche to get their brakes changed. So I had a listing on Google. They started hitting me up. I had my retirement. I think I told you that last week. I had my retirement. And during the pandemic, they allowed you to pull it with no penalty for 3 years. So, yeah, I always plan. Like, that's one thing about me. I always put up for a rainy day. I always plan. I've had some bad times, but for the most part, I've usually had enough. And then there was times where blessings just came through, but I'm going to keep saying it. That's the lesson for everybody. Learn. What I will say, as far as Elon, I think he put it on kind of quick. I don't see anything wrong with the whole email thing of documenting what you're doing. But like Easy said, there are certain clearances and certain information that could be, sensitive. So maybe Elon should have gave a deadline, like, okay, in the next 15 days or something like that, we're going to start requiring you to do this. And then however he can get a secure server, or the right people with the right clearance to authorize or whatever AI they use to verify. I don't see nothing wrong with him doing that. A lot of places do that. They even do that if you want unemployment. You got to, every week you got to tell where you applied to and all that. I think with some benefits, they do that too. You have to report to keep getting those benefits. So I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it was just kind of quick and it was kind of deliberate that they're trying to get rid of people.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I'm speaking from personal experience because my job when I was in the military, I had to have security clearance because I was around a lot of vital information. So
yeah, that makes sense. Me too. I had a security clearance, but I was IT boy.
Man. All right. So I guess we can go to the main event.
For sure.
Joy Reid canceled.
All the women share men.
Yep.